Hello mini makers, today we'll be making a Relaxaurus from Palword. We can begin with the basic shapes. Add a cube for the head, subdivide surfaces, and increase the median edge crease in the item tab to give it a slightly squarish shape at the ends. For the body, you can add a vertice, then add the skin modifier and subdivide surfaces. We can exclude the vertices to make the neck and the body. We can use Ctrl A to make the individual vertices in the neck thinner and in the belly bigger. For the tail, we can add a curve, then give it some volume by going to the bevel section of the geometry tab of the curve section. We can then move the vertices of the body and angle the head so we make it look closer to our final position. For the arms, we can add a vertice, then use the skin and subdivide surface modifiers. We can exclude vertices to make the rest of the arm, and then we can use Ctrl A to make the arm bigger, and use Ctrl A, then hit X to make the arms wider at the end to make the hands. For the legs, we can add a sphere, then use proportional editing on the tip to create a rounded shape at the bottom. Add a cube for the foot, subdivide surfaces, then add some edge loops in edit mode with Ctrl R to make the bottom flat. We can now begin to finish off the shape in the arm in sculpt mode. We can add some geometry by enabling dynamic topology, setting your inflate tool to 0, and drawing geometry. Then use the crease tool and the blob tool to give their arms their stubby fingers. To make the mouth, we can select the head, enter edit mode, then select the faces near the bottom of the mouth. Duplicate the faces and separate by selection to make the lower jaw section. Add the solidify modifier and the subdivide surface modifier to give the lower jaw some volume. We can refine the shape of the lower jaw section in sculpt mode by using the inflate tool, the smooth tool, as well as the snake hook tool. If you are enjoying the video so far, please don't forget to like and subscribe. This will help the Relaxaurus find a wider audience and help more people sculpt fun characters from video games and pop culture. For the eye, use the mask tool, invert the mask, and use the inflate mesh filter tool to push the eye in, using the pinch tool to make a sharper edge. For the tongue, we can add a sphere, use the snake hook tool to get a closer tongue looking shape. We can now use the snake hook tool on the body to move the back out slightly and the belly forward slightly. Next, we can make the swirl of the tail. First, add a sphere, then subdivide surfaces, then use proportional editing to turn the sphere into more of a disc-like shape. Convert the tail to a mesh, and fill the faces at the end using F, then Boolean union the disc to the tail. We can then use the mask tool to make the swirl pattern on the back of the tail, and use the pinch tool to make the swirl tighter. We can move on to finalizing the foot in sculpt mode by using a combination of the smooth tool, the inflate tool, and the snake hook tool to get a better shape. We can then use the crease tool and the inflate tool to get the stubby looking toes like we got on the hands. Next, union the foot to the leg, then we can smooth out the connections between the foot and the leg using the clay strips tool and the smooth tool to give it a more natural connection point. After we have unioned everything together, we can now create some smooth connections between the individual segments and the body. If you have any suggestions for what I should make next, please let me know in the comment section. I enjoy making Nintendo characters, but let me know any suggestions you have and I'll see if I can make them in the future. For the pattern on the body, we can make this by using the mask tool, invert the mask, and use the inflate mesh filter tool to push the body out slightly. We can then use the pinch tool to give the pattern a slightly sharper edge. For the pattern on the back, we can do the same as we did with the pattern on the body. Use the mask tool, invert the mask, and use the inflate mesh filter tool to push the pattern out slightly. The final step is to paint the model, which is done simply by selecting the colors you would like to select and paint the body. Now that we are in the painting phase, I'll let you know a couple things that I really enjoyed about the design of the Relaxaurus and the things that I appreciated more after modeling it. I'll start with the fact that it is a large creature that is very soft and gentle. We often see large things that are imposing and intimidating, but when you make a large creature soft and inviting, like the Pokemon Snorlax, you get a very unique design that people immediately enjoy. The next thing I enjoy is the head, and how the head is more square than it is oval. This pairs very well with the small eye near the back of its head. It makes it seem very disproportionate and very goofy, which I enjoy a lot. If you like the model and want to find a free 3D printable version, please go to my printables page in the description and download for yourself. If you would like to support more videos and more models, please support me on my Patreon page.